Hello everyone, welcome to Telugu One Academy. Friends, today in the Northeast insurgency topic, that is from the first chapter of internal security, we will be concentrating on the topic of Nagaland. Friends, Nagaland was the first state, or you can say the first region or first ethnic people of India who have started insurgency in India as soon as India got its independence. So who exactly are these Nagas and what is their major issue? Why they want to be separated, or why they want a secessionist tendency to form a greater Nagaland or an independent Naga state outside the constitution of India? So we'll go into the topic directly. Here you can see the map of Nagaland. You need to know the boundaries where the Nagaland shares with other states. So Nagaland has a boundary with Assam. Okay, Nagaland and Assam frequently have boundary issues, and there are also frequent boundary clashes. But in recent times, when it compared to last 4 years, there has been no bigger or larger boundary issue in this area, because even in Assam also few Naga tribes live. Okay, they are also called Ringma Naga tribes. Okay. Apart from Assam, it also has border with Arunachal Pradesh. While I was dealing with the topic of Arunachal Pradesh insurgency, I have said the 3 districts which are in contact with the Nagaland, which have a lot of insurgent groups, especially in N.S.C.N Naga National Socialistic Council of Nagaland, Isak-Muivah faction. And there is lot of atrocity going on, and AFSPA is only in these 3 states in Arunachal Pradesh. And it has a larger border with Myanmar, where in this border region a large amount of Naga ethnic group also lives, and most of the Naga insurgent groups easily jump into Myanmar. Okay, these are their safe havens. And apart from that, it also have border with Manipur. Okay, while I was dealing with the chapter of Manipur, I have even said the northern 4 districts of Manipur are heavily populated by Nagaland. Okay, even there also Nagas have been making the issue. Okay, so regarding when you see this map, I hope you understood what exactly the situation in the northeastern region along the border and across the border. So now first thing, who exactly are these Naga people? So Nagas have been firstly mentioned in Yajurveda long back. Okay, in Yajurveda about 1000 years before the Christ. They are basically the Indo-Mongoloid group who speak Sino-Tibetan family of languages. So Nagas, though they are considered as hilly people, okay, the term exactly they call them as Kirata in the Yajurveda. Okay, these groups are hilly people, hilly living people. Are spread across various states in India, especially in Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Manipur and Myanmar in the other country. And the Naga has been derived from the Hindi term which means Naga, which is nothing but naked, So these are basically the ethnicity of Naga, my friends. So Nagas are not monolith. Because within Nagas there are very different or sub-tribes, number of sub-tribes. There are also not every Naga community speaks the same language. They speak different languages, but they come into a group because of their some similar practices and because of their hilly living culture. And most of these Nagas, my friend, have the different dialects. You see, their own language, tradition, dresses. And you know, during different times, especially during the colonial legacy, these Nagas, most of Nagas have been converted into the Christianity very recently. And now today they follow the Christianity. Before they used to follow, they do not have any religion. They used to follow the old age tradition. That is, they used to pray the animate things like trees, whatever the animals they see around them, they used to pray that. They had been living in relative isolation for centuries. They never had contact with the plain people or people from plain areas. This was basically due to the policy of isolation which was followed by British. You know what happened, my friends? As I told you, In the case of Inner Line Permit or Bengal Regulation Act, which was given by the British people, these Nagas have been isolated from the mainstream freedom movement which was happening in the mainland and even in the Assam region. They were never coming into contact, and whoever want to visit these Naga areas had to take permission, and most of the time no one was allowed, only Christian missionary was allowed. Okay, so Nagas were always separated, and there was Naga clashes. That is, as I told you, there are different ethnicities within Naga where they clash with each other. So when they clash, this is the only positive thing what British has done for them, that they were able to stop this clash. And because of the English education and education of Nagas by Christian missionaries, they got an identity that they need to form a nation state. So the ideology of nation state came especially due to the education of missionaries. So all that I have been providing in this slide, my friends, you can look them. As I told you, Nagas giving a due regard to the continuance of tribal village administration. So British left them. So you have your own laws. So that's why Nagas never were having what oppressive laws which were faced by people in the mainland India and Assam, such as Rayatwari, Mahalwari systems, land revenue system, or marriage acts, trying to change the age-old traditions of Indian laws, especially regarding child marriage or sati or anything, that was not changed here. They followed their own land system, their own customary laws, their own social custom and communal institutions. Okay, the good thing what this British done was they ended the head hunting. These people are basically head hunting people. They go and hunt the head of the other tribes, and they bring the skull of that tribe and they use it for decorating their home. The more the number of skulls, the higher is the person respected in the region. Okay, so now as I told you, British declared the Nagaland as a backward area, or Naga region as a backward area. They just wanted to exploit that area. They just wanted a buffer zone, or for in between Myanmar and in mainland India. Okay, so this was happening there. As I told you, Bengal Eastern Frontier Regulation Act, which was given in the year 1873. Then what happened? This is nothing but the inner line permit. Only Christian missionaries were allowed. Okay, so exploitation by outsiders and sudden disruption of Naga culture, but it went a long way in isolation from Naga mainstream. So now you see, they were never exploited by outsiders. So as soon as independence of India was announced and people thought the Naga will go into Indian Union, they thought now the plain people come and they will exploit us, because British are not here to protect us. They were doubting the India's capability in protecting them. So this was the starting point of insurgency. But before that, long back, okay, for the purpose of unity among different Naga tribes, way before in 1918, Naga Club was formed, and even during the Simon Commission, when it was moving all around India, a large number of Naga people from different ethnic tribes have went to the Simon Commission in 1929, and they have even placed a memorandum saying that to leave us alone and determine for ourselves as ancient times. They said, please leave us alone, let us be independent from India, and we want to declare ourselves independent, and we want to live as if we have been living from ancient times. So all this was happening, Naga Club was formed, Simon Commission was happening. So now what happened? Soon the independence of India was announced. The Naga also parallelly announced that we are not going to join independent India. And the movement has started or given a push by a great leader called Phizo. You can see him. If I am pronouncing his name wrong, I am really sorry. Phizo. He was in Burma at that time. He immediately came to Nagaland and he said, no, we are not going to join the Union of India, and he formed a different union or a arm union, that is Naga National Council, which under the leadership of Angami Zapu Paizo declared Nagaland as an independent state on August 14, 1947, but we did not accept that. The Naga National Council resolved to establish a sovereign Naga state and it said it has conducted a referendum where 99% of its people supported independent Nagaland, but it was not accepted by India. When did the armed movement begin? So what happened in March 1952, Phizo formed an underground Naga federal government. Okay, this government and Naga federal army also he has formed. These were having exile governments in Bangladesh and sometimes in Myanmar also. So the government of India sent an army to crush the insurgency. In 1958 enacted the Armed Forces Special Power Act, that is 1958, also called as AFSPA. So just because of forming their own army and their own federal government, we thought now it is a challenge to the federal nature and also the Constitution of India. Now we have to tackle this issue. So when did the peace process start? Okay. So as I told you, India has sent Armed Forces Special Power Act. There has been a consistent striking between the different groups which are present. Okay, we always wanted that we'll make a peace process and we'll make our own consideration. Because you see, Nagaland was still then the part of Assam itself. It was not a separate state till that time. The Nagaland statehood was obtained in the year 1963 after a long time. So, okay, almost simultaneously with this resistance, our leaders were trying to make a peace process with the Nagas. On June 29, 1947, Assam Governor Sir Akbar Haidari, okay, there was an Haidari agreement or Haidari consensus which wanted to solve the issue of Nagas and make it a peaceful process. But this agreement was not accepted by Phizo, but most of the liberal leaders then in Naga, they wanted to sign, but Phizo did not accept that. Signed 9-point agreement with moderate T. Shakhair and Aliba Imti, which was almost immediately rejected by Phizo. The Naga Hills, a district of Assam, was upgraded to a state in 1963 by also adding Tuensang tract that was the part of Northeast Frontier Agency, which was also called as Arunachal Pradesh in present time. So we have formed the Nagaland in 1963. In the April next year, Jayaprakash Narayana also thought we need to solve the Naga people issue. You know, my friends, I would also like to add one more point which is not in this slide. Long back, it is also said by Nagas, it's a version which is given by Nagas, that soon immediately when the independence of India was declared, the Naga people have even met Mahatma Gandhi in the year 1947. They also say that Mahatma Gandhi was supporting the independence of Nagas. Mahatma Gandhi was supporting the independence of Nagas, and he even promised that he would come to Nagaland and said that it would be the first bullet, if some bullet was fired against Nagas, it would be going through his own body, but none other else. So they say that, but some people say no, it wasn't happened. Gandhiji just supported that their culture and everything should be protected and preserved, but not to have a sovereign state, but to have a sovereignty within the constitution and within the Union of India. So next, as I told you, and eventually Jayaprakash Narayan ji also have tried to make a resolution or a peace process with the Nagas. Jayaprakash Narayana and Assam Chief Minister Bimal Prasad Chaliha and Rev Michael Scott formed a peace mission, and they got the government and NCC, that is Naga National Council, to sign an agreement to suspend the operations in September. So, but NCC and that is Naga National Council or Naga Federal Government or what not, you can say Naga Federal Army, continued to indulge in violence, and after 6 rounds of talks, the peace mission was abandoned in 1967 and a massive counter-insurgency operation was launched. Lot of lives were going off, lot of people were dying and nothing was happening. So what happened long after we brought the Nagas onto a peace table by the year 1975. The government got sanction of Naga National Council, and we made Nagas to sign Shillong Accord. Shillong Accord, under which the section of Naga National Council and Naga federal government agreed to give up arms. So it is happy that you can see the flag of Naga National Council also. So basically everything was going on good, because first accord, happy, we are making a peace process. But here comes a very different. What happens? Some of the good leaders of Naga were not present during the time the Shillong Accord was signed. So Phizo was already in London by the time he was in exile, and even Isak-Muivah and Khaplang, who are the later leaders, we will be learning more about them. These three leaders were either somewhere in Burma, having training in Burma with Chinese armed forces and Burma armed forces. They were not present, and they were not ready to accept the Shillong Accord. They say Shillong Accord is not at all good for the Nagas, and whoever signed the Shillong Accord are betrayers of Naga people. So a group of about 140 members led by Muivah, or some, if I am wrong in pronunciation, I am sorry. He belongs to a tribe called Tuinglang, and who went to China at that time, refused to accept the Shillong Accord, and he himself formed a new group that is called Naga, or National Socialist Council of Nagaland. National Socialist Council of Naga, N.S.C.N, which is now the higher group with which the government want to have Naga peace talks. Okay, in 1980 this was formed, and later what happened? Muivah has got support even from Isak. See, Isak-Muivah, his name is Isak-Muivah, and also he got support from Khaplang, SS Khaplang. Friends, these two people have separated, and this Khaplang ji also have separated because of a fierce in-group war between or within the Naga Council. Okay, so what happened was, Muivah and Isak belong to one category or one tribal group, and Khaplang belong to other tribal group. There are two tribal groups in this majorly. Okay, as I told you, Naga are not one tribe. They are also divided into very other tribes. So what happened? One tribal group was commanding tribal group, and other tribal group were the low level armed forces who were working in the Naga Federal Army or Naga or any other army which is related to Nagas. So what happened? Even you see, Khaplang also misthought that Isak and Muivah were going to sign another peace agreement with Government of India. Then what happened? The forces of Khaplang, or the members who were with Khaplang, attacked Isak and Muivah people. Around hundreds of lives were killed at that time. Then what happened? Isak and Muivah have said that no more Khaplang belongs to Nagaland. He doesn't have any representation now. He has to leave. So then Khaplang had his base placed in Burma or Myanmar later times. Even now also the Khaplang group is in Myanmar. All the three leaders, from among the three leaders except Muivah and all the others have left the world. They are dead. Okay. As I told you, in 1988, N.S.C.N split into N.S.C.N, that is National Socialistic Council of Isak and Muivah, and National Socialistic Council Khaplang, after a violent clash. While Naga National Council began to fade away and Phizo has died in the year 1991 in London, the N.S.C.N.I.M came to be seen as the mother of all insurgencies in the region. Mother of all insurgencies, because it has kept the insurgency to live. Okay, what exactly the National Socialistic Council of Nagaland want? That is especially the group of Isak-Muivah want. See, they want an independent sovereign Nagaland which includes all the areas of Nagas. That is, they want the areas of Nagas which are in Arunachal Pradesh, which are in Manipur, which are in Assam, and even the areas which are in Myanmar to form an independent Naga state. See, that is also called as Greater Nagaland, comprising all contiguous Naga inhabited areas. As I told you, Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, Manipur, and even Myanmar. The map of Greater Nagaland has about 1,20,000 square kilometers, and the state of Nagaland consists of just 16,000 square kilometers. You see how much of tract they are expecting from others. The claims have always kept Assam, Manipur and Arunachal Pradesh wary of the peace settlement that might affect their territories. That is what all these three boundary states were in scare that if India is going to sign a peace treaty, what will happen to our states? How much of area will be covered? How will we survive? Because all the northeast states, some or other way, are affected by insurgency. See, even the Nagaland Assembly has given at various times that they want a Greater Nagaland. You see, endorsed the Greater Nagaland demand, integration of all Naga inhabited areas. Almost 5 times they have endorsed. You see, in the year 1964, 170, 94, 2003, and recently even in 2015, they said our aim is to establish a Greater Nagaland. Here you can see the map of Greater Nagaland, my friends. You see, what are all the areas you see? Dima Hasavo area they are claiming. Dima Hasavo is already by itself is an insurgent area because they want a Dima land. Okay, so this is an insurgent area. They are claiming a large tracts of Myanmar or Burma. See, they are claiming the Arunachal Pradesh. They are claiming the whole upper part of or almost every part of Manipur. You see, every part of Manipur. This is our Manipur. Till Mizoram they are claiming. So such a large state they are claiming, which is not easily possible. We have already seen that within the Manipur itself, there has been a clash among Nagas and Kukis, Nagas and Meiteis, and lot of clashes between all other groups. So you might be confused, why such a large fight, such a complex situation, where does the solution lie? We will see how to bring a solution in the last slide, okay? Before that, when did the National Socialistic Council of Nagaland join the peace process? So what happened? Eventually, our Prime Minister, the later Prime Ministers, the great Prime Ministers like all the great Prime Ministers in 1990s have been trying to make a peace deal. Rajiv Gandhi and Indira Gandhi have never visited the Nagaland when they were Prime Ministers. So Jawaharlal Nehru has visited soon after he became Prime Minister in the year 1952 or so, but he was not received properly by Nagas, and around 5,000 Nagas have left the meeting wherever it was going to be arranged. So Muivah and Su, that is Isaac, and other top N.S.C.N.I.M leaders escaped to Thailand in early 1990s, while Nagaland Governor M.M. Thomas, a church leader from Kerala, extracted first positive response from N.S.C.N.I.M. Prime Minister P.V. Narasimha Rao met Muivah and Su and others in Paris in June 15, 1995. He met them. In November 1995, Minister of State for Home Rajesh Pilot, he is the father of present Aviation Minister Sachin Pilot, my friends, met them in Bangkok. Subsequently, the Prime Minister H.D. Deva Gowda also wanted a solution for Nagas, met them in Zurich, okay, in February 1997, which was followed by meeting with officers in Geneva and Bangkok. You might also see how come this Nagas insurgency has been consistently going on for such a long time, started in 1947 and going on till that in 1990s also, that the Prime Ministers have to come to a table where you have to discuss at an equal level. Okay, let me also tell about that more. And even Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji also have been meeting these people in the year 1998. He was the person who has said he recognized the greatness of Nagas. Even in his speech when he visited Nagaland, he said the great leaders like Rani Gaidanilu, who was from Nagaland, who fought for Indian freedom. Okay, even most of the Naga people who have fought in the Kargil war, or who have fought even in the Indo-Pak wars, even in the World War II, are nothing but the greatness and pride for whole India, not just for Nagas. Okay, such words have motivated the Nagas to come for a peace talk. The government of India signed a ceasefire agreement with National Socialist Council of Nagaland Isak-Muivah faction in 1997, which came to effect from August 1st, 1997. Around 80 rounds of talks between these two sides were held subsequently. So as I asked you, how exactly is this insurgency surviving for such a long time? So let me tell you, my friends, period to Bangladesh Liberation War or formation of Bangladesh 1971, it was the Pakistan who was supporting this insurgency. Even there was a time that Naga people have said, Naga people have directly proclaimed that if Nagas want to join a union, it would be Pakistan, we would be happy with Pakistan. But my friends, Pakistan has nothing to do with the welfare of the people of Nagas. It just want to dismantle the unity of India. It just want to dismantle whole the northeast so that India could soar. That is the only motivation. So Pakistan was supporting, and in the later times until 1970s, 1980s, until 1990s, okay, not beyond that, till 1990s it was China and Maoist China, okay. Even Nagaland is affected by Maoism. You see how it is such a diverse nature. So Maoist China has been supporting through training of Naga groups in China. Isak-Muivah faction once visited China for their training, and they were not able to return through the Indian route. So subsequently what happened, Isak had to go to Thailand, and then he was arrested because of using the fake passport which was provided by Pakistani people. Okay, he was for long time in Thailand jail, okay, almost for 1 year or something. This is also happening at that time. So even USA was also conspiring with Pakistan during that time. USA was also providing support from its base in Thailand. Okay, it has its own base in Thailand, Southeast Asia base. From there it has been supporting that. Even at the international level also, they had their representation in the non-state people representation or Security Council, where they were raising their issue even in the United Nations also. So all this was happening. All the people who just want to dismantle India or destabilize India were trying all these actions at international level. Okay, this was happening. That's the only reason. That's the only reason the Nagas were able to survive for such a long time. But unfortunately, after 1990s, the situations, everything changed. The economy of Pakistan was going down. The military regime came. USA was not supporting Nagas. China also stopped its support. Though it might be supporting now, but for a long time it stopped its support. And now Nagas want a peace process because they are not having enough input of arms and money which is coming from outside. They started doing organized crime like kidnapping, lifting, drug trade, everything whatnot they are doing today. Even they are also collecting personal taxes also. What are the Naga peace talks? You see, center has come to a stage that it's going to have a Naga peace talks very soon. It has said in the year 2020, and Prime Minister Modi has proposed himself that he will be talking in the Naga peace talks. So what happened, even at this stage, Modi government was ready. All the states were keenly looking and they did not take any stance. Okay, they did not, all the border states, they did not say anything because they thought, let the government say what they want to say, then we will react. So everything was going fine and the talks were starting, but talks were not yet done and there was no conclusion from the talks which were done at that time. Okay, even the SS Khaplang, the people also wanted that there is also a Naga group which is under the SS Khaplang. So what happened in SS Khaplang, my friends, even that group had divided among themselves. One was divided for his daughter, where his daughter takes control, and another is with his close ally. They also got divided into two. So central government was saying the N.S.C.N K has not concluded with a ceasefire, which was in around 2001, where they have agreed for ceasefire, but they have broken that ceasefire more times. Okay, so how can we bring those people also into the talks? It was said like that. So where do you find the solution, my friends? Where do you find the solution? Because especially for Nagas, there is no one solution. Such a long history, such a separate life for centuries of sedentary life. No other person have got contact. Now you have suddenly set them to come into assimilate into India. Though we have provided them separate state, separate package, etc. and etc. What more could be done? What more could be done? How can you resolve this issue? So you see, my friends, in order to achieve the peace in Nagaland, the government will have to clear the web of complication. First thing, as I said you, Naga society is not a single unified group, but a riven with factions. They are themselves having factions. Second thing, what you need to take in mind, that Manipur, which is adjacent to Nagaland, has subsequent Naga population, and you are not going to disturb that state also. Third consideration, even the chief minister of Nagaland should be considered to be the part of talks in any peace process which happens with the National Socialistic Council of Nagaland of Isak-Muivah. Okay. Styles itself as a premier organization, this group views underground group Khaplang led by Myanmar's Naga as anti-Naga. So there is also a clash between two Naga groups also. So therefore, any attempt to find out a solution should include all these people, the chief minister of Nagaland who have been elected by the people, which the constitution through the constitutional mandate, and N.S.C.N I.M, N.S.C.N Khaplang group, even other civil societies, and even the bordering states which might lose the area or territory to creation of greater Nagaland. These all people should be included in the peace process. Without these people, any agreement will be a piece meal, will not be a complete meal, what I wanted to say. Okay. See, for any meaningful outcome, all factions of underground, even including overground, shall have to be involved. Otherwise, piecemeal dialogue will not bring a satisfactory political solution. And finally, I want to just say, my friend, a lasting solution lies only with more autonomy. Okay, slowly retrieving back the Armed Forces Special Power Act. Okay, AFSPA. Special Power Act should be slowly withdrawn from the Nagaland, and they have to be given more and more budgetary support. Skills should be developed, more amount of investment, more amount of connectivity should be developed. Okay, there should be student exchange program with mainland of India and Naga people. Okay, all this should be happening. More central funds, a little bit of pressure on the militant group, and accept the peace proposal. Sincerity on the part of political and insurgent leader alone can bring the peace to the land of exhilarating Nagas. As I already told you, especially in the Northeast India, there is always a nexus between the insurgent group and politicians. Because as long as insurgency continues, the politicians can claim their votes. So this tandem between them should be broken off. It will be through only by the will of the people, that they want a peace and they want to remain in the Union of India. How to make them that they want to remain in the Union of India is through the initiatives what central government is taking are implemented at the ground level. It can be only possible by few amendments in AFSPA, where police also are involved. You are training the ground level police force. Because, my friends, it was even said by Raviji, who is the governor and who was also interlocutor for major insurgency issues in the Northeast India, was also an IB officer. Okay, he even said when he was governor of Nagaland, okay, he said himself that in Nagaland there are parallel governments running, and they are also claiming lot of tax. They are claiming lot of tax to run their Naga insurgency, and this should be stopped, and even the local police are supporting that issue. So with such a complex nature, we have to build the confidence or we have to take the confidence of the Naga people. It is only possible when there is a student exchange, when there is a cultural exchange with the mainland of people, and investments coming and skill development happening, especially by building a communication related infrastructure. I hope it will solve a major issue, that is IT industry. So my friends, here I will end the Naga issue. So we will start another class with the new state in Northeast India. I hope you understood my class. So this is the last part I would like to show you. If anyone did not understand, this is the whole chronology picture of Naga issue. You can please note it down or take a picture of this. So thank you for watching my video, my friends. This is Nikhil from Telugu One Academy. Thank you.